How's it going, guys? I'm Charles, and today we're going to do a foam rolling routine. Now, foam rolling is a really good way to do what's called self-myofascial release. You see, in our bodies we have this dense connective tissue called fascia. And fascia surrounds our muscles and joints and other organs to basically keep things together and help redistribute force. So there's a lot of good reasons that we have it. It allows us to run and jump, but also occasionally can bunch up. It can cause tightness, it can cause tenderness, and also restrict our range of motion. So myofascial release is going to help us release that tightness and help us to move a bit more normally. So what I'm going to do today specifically is we're going to match foam rolling along with some stretching. That way with the foam rolling we're relaxing that fascia, and then we can go in and stretch those muscles and joints around it to be a little bit more effective when we stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and head down. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our legs and then work up to our back. So I'm going to start with my hamstring first. So I'm going to place the foam roller right underneath my leg, just right under here in between the knee and the hip is fine, doesn't matter particularly where. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up on the roller and try to get as much of my body weight on the roller as possible. You're going to notice that the more body weight that you put on that muscle you're rolling, the more tender and the more it's going to dig into that muscle. So if you feel a little bit more uncomfortable, try to push more in with your hands and free leg. Otherwise, as much weight as we can on that leg. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll back and forth from the base of my knee down to right underneath my glute here. Now with foam rolling, sometimes it can be a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit tense. What I encourage you to do is to find those spots that are especially tight and even just hang out there for a little bit. Roll just a little bit back and forth, because again, we're just trying to release those knots and make it a little bit looser. So find those spots. Once you've hit it for a little bit, you can go back and forth. Full range of motion, trying to hit that entire muscle all the way down and back. We're going to keep going, keep trying to get it nice and loose before we stretch. There we go, base of the knee, all the way to the base of the glute. Now for me, that's really where that tight spot is, right there between my glute and hamstring. So I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit longer, try to release that. Just a few more seconds here. And release. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my other leg. Same thing, get that roller underneath. Come up to my hands and free leg, and then just going back and forth. Now for a lot of people, they'll also find that tight spot to be right behind the knee. So I would kind of search around that area and just see if you find something that's tender and tight. Not everyone's going to have it there, and that's okay. All of our bodies are a little bit different. There we go, and then back into a nice full row again. All right, just a few more here. Find one of those tender spots. There we go, and release. All right, we're gonna go right into a lying hamstring stretch. Take advantage of that loose fascia. So I'm gonna lay down on my back, straighten up my leg, kick my toe back, and then just bring it up as high as we can here. You don't have to lock your knee out, but try to get your leg fairly straight. And we're just gonna hold. Go. Don't forget to breathe here. Just a few more. There we go, and release. All right, other leg, same thing. Let's even it out. Good, a few more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, awesome. Now we're gonna move to the front side of our legs, hit our quadriceps and our hip flexors as well. So same thing with our hamstrings. I'm gonna do one leg at a time. That way it gives me a little bit more control of how much pressure I'm putting on that foam roller. So put that underneath my leg. My other leg just out to the side. And then again, much weight as possible. I'm gonna start right up here at my hip crease and then roll all the way up towards the top of my knee and back. So it's a pretty big range of motion here. Find those spots that are tight. For me, I got one right there. Just gonna hang out for a bit, back and forth, trying to release those knots. There we go, good. A few more rolls. This is it. And 3, 2, 1, release. All right, good. Other leg, same thing. Get situated. Body weight on that hip. Start up at the crease, and then we're gonna go forward and back. There we go. Find one of those spots. Right there at the top of my leg is where I'm feeling it. There we go, good. A few more rolls there, then we'll go into a stretch. There we go. If you want to get the little different sides of your leg and hip, you can always rotate your body just a little bit to kind of get the inside and outside just a tad here. Adds just a little bit more of a massage to our fascia. There we go. In 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. We're going to go right into a hip flexor stretch. So coming up to one knee. Got my knee underneath my hip. And then my ankle under my knee over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck my rear end forward and then drop my weight in forward direction. I'm just going to hold. I want to feel a stretch right up here, right between my hip and my quad. Just going to sit here and hold. If you want to add a little extra challenge, I'm going to take this arm, reach back and away. As always, making sure we're still breathing. Good, in 3, 2, 1, release. Perfect. Other side, same thing. Up on one knee, tuck that hip forward, squeeze that glute, and then we're just going to drop forward. There we go, keep holding. You'll notice with these stretches that we hold for quite a while. To really get a good benefit from a static stretch, we really want to try to hold at least 20 to 30 seconds, even longer. That way we get a good chance to actually elongate that muscle and get it to relax on us. There we go, for a little bit of advance. Reach back and away. In 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, we're gonna move up a little bit now. So we're gonna focus this time up on our hips. Specifically, we notice that we have these little hip pointers where our fascia really seems to bundle up and tighten a lot. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start by sitting up on top of my foam roller. I'm then gonna shift my weight so that most of my weight is actually over here on my left glute. From here, I'm gonna put ankle up on the knee, twist a little bit more, and then just going back and forth. You'll notice for this one, we're not rolling quite as much. It's a pretty small roll. There's a lot of pressure on that one spot. Now this can be especially uncomfortable here, so if you need to, push a little bit harder on this hand and that leg down there. There we go. Find those spots that are especially tight for you and just hold. Don't forget to breathe here. Sometimes it helps to focus on the breathing rather than the fact that it's a little bit uncomfortable. There we go, almost there. And 3, 2, 1, release. All right, other side, same thing. Again, sitting up on the roller, ankle up on the knee, rotate the body just a tad, and then still gonna roll here. If you feel like you're having a hard time finding those tender spots, you can always rotate a little bit more each direction. Eventually, I promise, you're gonna find that spot that really starts to tingle and burn a little bit. That's the money right there. That's where you wanna stop. There you go. A few more rolls. And 3, 2, 1, release. All right, good. We're gonna go right into stretching, same thing. So we're gonna mimic that same posture that we just did. So what I'm gonna do is sit up fairly tall here, ankle up on the knee, and then I'm gonna try to bring my free leg up in towards my body, and also try to keep my chest close to my leg. The closer I can get, the better stretch we're gonna feel here. And if you wanna add a little bit more, I'm gonna grab that knee that's up and rotate my torso towards the outside of that knee. Good, 20 to 30 seconds here. Deep breaths. And 3, 2, 1, release. And other side. There we go, ankle up on the knee. Work that free leg in, chest up tall. And then to make it more challenging, grab the outside of that knee and twist. There we go, keep breathing. We got about 10 more seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. All right, now we're gonna take a little bit of a second to roll the sides of our legs before we move on up our back. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try to target my IT band. So that's this band that connects to the side of our knee and comes all the way up the side of our hip. So what I'm gonna do is get on my hip here, rotate my body to the side, bring my leg to the front, and again, I'm just gonna roll from the crease of my hip up towards about midway down my quad. So going down, step, and back. Now for some people, this might be tender all the way down. So if you need to, just stop and hold at different spots or keep moving. Whatever you're feeling today, as long as you're feeling just a little bit uncomfortable, then we're probably doing this right. There we go, just a few more rolls. Three, 2, 1, release. Okay, other side, here we go. Let's start with our hip up on the roller. Bring that leg to the front. And then you can either be up on your hand, down on your elbow, whatever you're feeling. Just comes down to comfort. And we'll roll. Take pauses where you need to. There we go, a few more seconds. And release. All right, excellent. We're gonna go right into an IT band stretch. So laying down on your backs, you're gonna bring that leg up like we were doing that hamstring stretch. Stick your free arm out to the side and then bring it across. Now for this stretch, you may not go far, that's okay. You can be up here around 45 degrees or bring it all the way down. As long as I can maintain contact with the ground with this free hand, I'm still getting a good stretch. There we go, a few more seconds. And release, excellent. Okay, other leg, same thing. Start it up high, reach out, and bring across. And release. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our back. So we're gonna split it up into sections, but you'll notice that rolling the lower back can be really challenging. So what you do is be very careful with this, and if you don't feel comfortable with it, you can always skip it. What I'm gonna do is start by sitting up on the roller and keep my arms in close to my sides. That way, even when I'm on the roller, some of the pressure's on my arms, so it's not all completely on my lower back. From here, I'm gonna roll forward. I'm gonna find lower side of my back, and then from here, I'm gonna rotate to the side just a bit and go back and forth. So again, there's two ways of doing this. One, I'm putting a lot of pressure on my knee and hands to avoid putting all the weight on my back, or I'm gripping my sides and just going back and forth. I'm rotated just a little bit, so I'm hitting the side of my back and not just going straight down like that. Not a lot of movement needs to be done here. Just going back and forth, finding those tight spots, pausing. There we go, and release. Okay, we're gonna hit the other side of our lower back now. Similar concept, so I'm gripping my sides, rolling forward just a tad, making sure to put a good bit of pressure on my arm here, and then just going forward and back just a little bit. Doesn't take much. Option number two, if you're feeling it, hand on the knee, hand on the ground. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, good. Let's stretch our lower back now. We're gonna go into a child's pose stretch. So I'm gonna sit back on my ankles here and then reach forward and just relax here for just a bit. Get a nice good stretch in my lower back and my rectors. And release. Okay, let's finish up with the upper portion of our back. So I'm going to do this time is start the roller behind me, and And then once I find about mid-back, I'm gonna bring my hips up off the ground. So the only thing that's touching the ground right now is my feet, and then my back is touching the roller. So I'm stopping at about mid-back, coming forward. You can rest your hands right here, back behind your head, or even just straight back. Whatever feels comfortable here. Try to do everything you can to just relax your spine here. If you're keeping everything tight, it doesn't massage it quite as well. You want to really try to relax into the roller and let it dig into the spine. Good, keep your breathing going. If you find a especially tight spot, you can stop. For me, it's right there at about mid-spine. Try to get some nice big breaths. It's going to help relax your spine just a little bit more. And roll. Good. Here we go, almost there. In 3, 2, 1, and release. Now, we're gonna do 2 stretches here. One of them I'm just gonna do while I'm here on the foam roller. So what I'm gonna do is roll back just a bit, relax my hips on the ground, and I'm just gonna reach back as far as I can and try to relax my spine. Now this stretch can be a little bit uncomfortable if you're tight, so if you need to, you can bring your hands in, bring your knees up. If you want to take some pressure off the back. Otherwise, just try to relax here. Deep breath. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, and for our second upper back stretch, we're just going to do a seated side bend. So I have my legs crossed, grabbing my opposite knee, and big stretch, trying to create distance between my fingertips and my hips down here, and just hold. There we go, good. Other side. And release. All right, that is it. Thank you so much for joining in today for this class. Always suggest trying to pair that foam rolling with some stretching. And then if you also notice you're having some trouble in those areas, always try a little bit of strength training as well, as long as it doesn't hurt those areas. What we find is that a mixture of foam rolling, stretching, and strength training can really help those problematic areas that we might be experiencing. So thanks again for coming. Have a great day.